Hey YouTube, happy 4th of July. It's Saturday here and it's the 4th, and I hope you guys are seeing some fireworks either tonight or last night or whenever. We had ours last night and it kind of sucked because it was raining and there was like a big cloud in the sky every time they shut off the fireworks, and it kind of hung around, and so you couldn't really see the fireworks very well. But fun anyway. So I have to apologize for not bringing you guys a video last week. I was really sick. I don't know if you can still hear it in my voice. I'm like still really stuffy and coughing and all that sort of stuff. I had a fever all last weekend, and it was like, I don't know, 85 degrees here, and on top of that I had 101 fever the whole weekend, so I was pretty miserable and not about to be making YouTube videos. So I have a couple videos planned for you guys this weekend. I want to do some tank updates because I know a few people have requested those. So this video is going to be a Betta tank update, and yeah, I don't know, my setup is a lot different than I think the last time I posted videos. I now have a 40-gallon and a 20-gallon going, and a while back, like back when I wasn't posting videos, I had tried to start a sorority, and I totally did it the wrong way because I was being, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, when you want to just do something right away. Sometimes I can't think of words when I'm doing these videos. God, what is that word? Impulsive? That's a good one. I was being impulsive. I just bought, I think I got 4 girls from like Petco or PetSmart. And really, ideally, you want to get girls who are all related, you know, sisters who have already been together, and I didn't do that, and it didn't go well. As soon as I put them in, they started fighting, and I tried to wait it out, but I couldn't. It was too hard to look at them beating up on each other. And I know that, you know, there's a time period in which, hair, you know, they need to establish hierarchy and all that, but I just couldn't. Not for me. I don't think I would ever want a sorority. Sorry for the shaky camera too. I'm holding my iPhone right now. So I ended up with 4 girls, and I ended up with divided takes. I had a 20 long that was divided into 3 portions, and then I had 1 girl in a 40. And I have just gotten so sick of having a divided tank. It's, you know, like I had to have a filter on each portion of the divider because the, you know, the top of the water without any water movement was just getting really disgusting, and I don't like that. And occasionally one girl would jump over the divider somehow and you know, get into another girl's side, and I actually just recently lost one of my girls because of that. One got over to the other side somehow, and I came home to 1 dead fish, unfortunately. So I'm totally done with dividers right now. So right now I have 1 girl just kind of living in a Sterilite container, you know, like a Tupperware sort of container, but not small. Not a little one, but, and I haven't decided if I'm going to set up another tank for her or if I'm going to try to rehome her. And then I just have 1 in the 20-gallon and 1 in the 40. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the actual tanks. Alright, so this is my 40-gallon right now, and I like just barely planted this tank. So I think I've told you guys before that I just recently moved. Maybe, I don't know, I think in March or something I moved, and I ended up losing all my plants during that move except for like you know, a couple swords and some Mayaka. So really I'm starting from scratch here, and I just barely started planting this tank. And this tank is actually just going to be, or not going to be, but as of right now, it's just kind of a grow out tank. There's really no rhyme or reason to where I placed plants at this point. I have no plan for this tank really at this point. I just need to build up some plants. You know, these are some ideas of plants that I might want to keep in this tank, and then some of them are plants that are going to go in the goldfish tank eventually once they grow out a little bit. So yeah, it's just kind of whatever at this point. No real scape or plan or anything. So I'll show you guys what I have in here, if I can remember all the names. There's just some baby tears down there. Back behind that, the pink plant, that's, oh, what was that? We'll come back to that one. Behind that, you can see some Synganathus varieties, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing any names wrong, I'm sure I will. And I don't actually know what all of these varieties are. Someone was really nice and, oh, his username is Strung Out on planetank.net, and I've also seen him on the Bar Report. But he was really nice and sent me these as extras with my order of Bellum. So I haven't totally identified them yet. I can see a couple, like that middle one there is Deficiency. That's the variety it's called, because you can see the leaves are a little bit yellow. But I don't know about the others yet. I figured I'll wait until they grow out a little bit to figure out what they are. The grassy plant behind there is Cypress halfiri. It's doing good in this tank. I had tried to move it to a different tank and it totally crashed on me, so I had to bring it back onto this tank, into this tank. This is Cardinalis. You can see there's a little bit of brown algae on those leaves right now. This is a pretty new tank at this point, so I'm not too worried about that just yet. Down here we have Sterogine repens, S. repens. It's kind of a nice low-lying carpeting plant that I really like. And I'm thinking that that might actually eventually end up in the goldfish tank, but I'm not sure. Stargrass back there. Ludwigia red back there, which I'm loving this plant. I kind of want to put it in every single tank. Maybe not a good idea, but it's so pretty. And that actually just got trimmed, so you can see a lot of the tops are missing right now, so I'm hoping to grow it out a little bit. Way back there, that is Ludwigia cuba, and it's actually the immersed form right now. It's transitioning to submersed, and I actually just threw it in here because I figured it would transition better in here than in the goldfish tank, but that is eventually going to go in the goldfish tank. You can also see my one neon tetra. Poor little guy has no friends left. I haven't decided what to do with him just yet. I feel bad keeping him because they are, you know, they are fish that should be kept in a group. But his other little friends didn't make it through the move. So I haven't decided if I'm going to get him some more friends or if I'm going to try to bring him back to the pet store and see if they'll take him, but he's doing good. This is Rotella green, which, again, really pretty plant. I'm really liking that one. Oh yeah, and I should say that these were all immersed form from PetSmart. You know, those ones in the little bags? They really took off and are looking really good for having transitioned from that little bag of gel. These are, what are those? Those are Reneki, mini Reneki. Actually, these came from Tom Bar, and the Ludwigia Pantanal also came from Tom Bar, which is, I don't know, slightly exciting. Celebrity plants in my tank, I guess. But these ones were immersed, so those are transitioning. They look like they're doing okay so far. They're a little bit melty, but hopefully they'll do all right. Again, Pantanal, I love this plant. It's awesome, so pretty. It did come from Tom's tanks, which I know are, you know, really high light, high CO2, or lots of CO2. So I'm hoping that they'll transition okay. It tends to be kind of a sensitive plant, and it shipped when it was really hot outside. You know, it was like a day when it was like 95, and it sat on my porch for a little while. So the plants were a little bit cooked when they arrived, so I'm hoping both of these were. So I'm hoping both of them will do okay. Back here, Bellum, Syngonathus bellum, so pretty. Love this plant again. I guess these are just all of my favorite plants. I've just stocked this tank with my favorite plants. I have a little bit of collectoritis going on, I think, which is, you know, I don't know. I'm still in that stage of aquascaping, I guess. But again, this is such a pretty plant, and the guy who sent them to me, he was really nice and sent me some extras and gave me a good deal on it, so super happy about those. And then I just have some HC here that is going to be planted in this tank eventually when it stops being a grow out tank. So I haven't totally decided if I'm going to start planting it or leave it in its pots or what I'm going to do yet. That is, oh, let's go back here first. That is Wallichi, Rotella Wallichi, there we go. Man, it's so hard to talk to this camera some days. My mind just goes blank. Rotella Wallichi, that's doing fine back there. It came really green, so it's just starting to pink up a little bit. And those are, these two pots are Glosso, there we go, Glosso. I haven't totally decided what I'm going to do with those, or if I really even have anything to do with those. It was another one of those kind of impulse buys where I kind of like Glosso and I bought it, but I don't have a plan for it. So it's just sitting in here in its pots. Oh, and way back behind the Pantanal is Rotella colorata back there. I've been trimming it a lot, and I actually really probably shouldn't, because it hasn't really established yet, so it's not looking too great at this point. But yeah, that's everything that's going on in this tank. And you can see pressurized CO2 back there. That's a one of the atomic diffusers from Greenleaf Aquariums, and you can tell that it creates a lot of little micro bubbles. And I actually have it like right under the filter output so that the bubbles get spread around. So this tank is pretty bubbly. Yeah. I have 2 aquatic life fixtures on this tank. So 4 bulbs total of, well, I think these are 54 watt bulbs on a 40 gallon. But yeah, so it's definitely a highlight tank. We'll see how that goes with algae and stuff. It hasn't been too bad yet, just a little bit of brown algae. And the plants pearl every day, so they seem happy. I figure if I can keep enough CO2 in there, I should be fine with the lighting. But yeah, that's how it's looking right now. I don't know if we saw my beta girl. I think she's hiding down there. I don't know. She's blue. But and this is a stacked stand, so right below is my 20 long. This tank I actually have a little bit of a plan for, but it's, again, there's a lot of stuff just kind of stuck in here at this point to grow out. Like, all this Java fern is not going to be there. I just need to find a place to put it. I actually need to get a rock to glue it to is what I'm waiting for, but I just stuck it there so it would have somewhere to be. More Colorata there, more Ludwigia red there. I just am in love with that plant right now. Again, some just random stuff down there. These are Daunoi that got sent on a really hot day again and did not look good at all. I planted it anyway, we'll see how it does. They're little tiny crowns because most of it melted. All of this is Hydrocodal Japan, and I'm getting some brown algae on these leaves, but the new growth looks good so far, so hopefully that'll be just a temporary sort of thing. I don't know if you can see back there that it's pearling a little bit. So yeah, not much going on in this tank, but I do have a little bit of an idea of what I want to do in it eventually. But I just started planting, so yeah. And again, I have an atomic diffuser back there. I'm actually thinking about getting a larger one for this tank. I don't like how small this one is. I don't really get as good of spread of the CO2 as I do in the 40 gallon with the larger diffuser, so I think I'm gonna actually order a new one of those. But yeah, that's about it. I forgot to say that this this tank also has 2 aquatic life fixtures running on it, and on this tank it's kind of strung up. The lights aren't right on top of the tank, so it's a little bit lower par on this one. But again, I don't know, I like these aquatic life fixtures generally. They're probably not the best, but I've had success with them, so. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, Substrate. So the substrate in this tank is Up Aqua Sand, and I got that from Greenleaf Aquariums. It's the black, which it's really gray. I don't know if I like the color very much. I mean, it's fine, but and hopefully it'll be mostly covered by plants, but I was expecting kind of more of a darker color when they said black. And then underneath it is some Eco Complete that I was just too lazy to take out, so I just threw the aqua sand on top of it. So you'll see like little black specks. That's the Eco Complete from where I've planted and uprooted and whatever. I'll do a video on the aqua sand at some point in comparison to the 88 aqua soil, but I will tell you that this is definitely harder. Like the grains are not as soft as the 88 aqua soil, and I also haven't had any ammonia leaching yet, so that's a good thing, I guess. I kind of still prefer the aqua soil though. And then in this tank I do have the 88 aqua soil, which is brown, as you can see. There's a little bit of fluorite kind of mixed in too. That was just there. But I do actually like the color of the 88 aqua soil. And I think this was the Amazonian or something. I can't remember which kind, but I like that it's brown. It's like a really dark brown. And this stuff is really soft, which I really like for some reason. When I plant it, it just, I don't know, it feels nice, which is kind of a funny thing to say, but when I put the tongs into the soil, or the substrate, it just like, it's nice and soft. And I had tried to do Eco Complete in this tank down here for a while, and I just couldn't stand the way it felt, which is really funny. I don't know, you know, it doesn't say anything about the substrate's ability to grow plants or whatever, but it just didn't feel good, so. Anyways, yeah, that's all that's going on with these 2 tanks. If you guys have any questions or comments or, you know, whatever, tell me I'm doing something wrong or whatever you want to tell me, please comment below, and thank you so much for watching. And I should have another video coming to you soon as well this weekend. Be safe over the holiday weekend and enjoy it.